I'm Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
And we're two sisters Southern cooking. I am starting my process to make cream corn. This is my recipe that I've used for years now. But once the cream corn is done, we're actually going to take that cream corn and utilize it in our corn casserole. But to get to that point, we need to make the cream corn first. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I've already shucked the corn, and I usually take and cut my kernels halfway, so that you only have half the kernel come off, and then I cut another all the way to the husk. So you get smaller pieces of corn in your cream corn. You don't get big old kernels. So I just cut all the way around with a sharp knife, just be careful, and cut the top of the corn off into a large bowl. Doing this, it can make a mess. So I just make one pass around the whole kernel, and then I go back around and I cut it to all the way off. And then I get which I need to go get, I didn't bring it with me, another knife, like a butter knife or something, and I scrape the liquid out of the corn. It basically looks like almost like milk when you scrape it off, and you get all the liquid out of the corn, because corn is full of sweet liquid. Okay, all right, I'm all the way around. So now I'm going to go back again, and I'm going to cut all the way and cut the other half of the kernels off. It's time consuming, so usually I make cream corn at a special dinner or whatever, because it is time consuming to do it properly, the way that it gets the best result. Alright, I'm just going to set this to the side because I am going to scrape all the juices out of it. So I'm going to do this 5 more times, and then we will scrape the corn. I got a butter knife here, and basically I take the back of a knife. You could do this with a sharp knife too, but I prefer like a butter knife, so I'm not worried about cutting myself. And you just go along and scrape, and you can see all the juices and liquid coming out of it. And you'll see empty sockets. It's like where the kernels are, they're empty now because you just scraped all the goodie out of it. And this is messy because it will splatter. Alright, done. Alright, I'm going to do that to the next 5 of them, and then we will move on to show you what I do on the stove to get this prepared to make cream corn. This is a really good recipe. It's delicious. So if y'all love cream corn, you're going to want to make this. So I'll see you at the stove. So I'm making, getting ready to make the cream corn. I'm going to take my flour and my sugar, And I'm going to mix it together real quick. And then the way I do this, I have my bowl here that I usually use when I make it. I just sprinkle this over the corn. I'm going to mix that up in a minute with everything, but I'm just going to sprinkle this all across the corn. I'm going to put some salt and some pepper. Over it. Okay. I'm going to stir this together. And then I'm going to add in my liquids, which is heavy cream and some water. And then we're going to go to the stove and put it into the frying pan. We're going to have bacon grease in the frying pan, getting hot for when we pour this mixture in over it. And then we're going to bring it to a boil. Once it's to a boil, we turn it down to low and let it cook for 30 minutes. And then we're going to take some of this, maybe all of it, I'm not sure, but I think some of it. I think we're going to have some left to put into our corn casserole, which takes cream corn and regular kernel corn into the casserole. But instead of using canned cream corn, we made our own from scratch, which is my recipe that I've used for years. Pour in my heavy cream, and then I'm going to stir this one more time, make sure it's all mixed together, and then we're going to the stove. Alright y'all, so I've got this all stirred together and mixed together, so now we're going to the stove and we're going to put it into the frying pan. We'll see you at the stove. So we're going to go ahead and put our bacon grease in here. I've just turned on the heat so it'll go ahead and get melted. And then I'm going to assist Elsie in pouring this in because she was just having hand cramps, so I don't want her to have to worry about that. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Alright, we're melted now. So let's just pour this in. And we're going to season this with salt and pepper to taste also. Alright, so this is going to come to a boil, and once it's to a boil, then we will turn it down to low and put the lid on it and let it cook on low for 30 minutes. Okay, so we taste tested it, and it needs a little more salt, so we're putting another half teaspoon in, and we're putting our tablespoon of butter in. We're almost done with the cooking process. It needs about 5 more minutes. So I'm going to stir it up. Get that butter melted in there. Alright, I'm going to put the lid back on and let it finish cooking. Hey y'all, so I'm making our corn casserole. One of the ingredients was cream corn. Well, we made that from scratch, so I've got that here. So you take your boxed corn muffin mix, put in, just dump it all in and mix it together, and then we'll put it in our 9x13 greased pan. So that's kernel corn, our cream corn, our melted butter. And our sour cream. And then I'm going to mix that all together and then I'll put it in the pan. Make sure you stir it really well so you get all that corn muffin mix stirred in. Alright. I'm going to pour this in. I'm just going to level it out, spread it out. Alright, this is going in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes, uncovered. And we'll show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. And we will see you in our next video. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and sprinkle our cheese on top of this corn casserole. Put it back in the oven for about 10-15 minutes. Let it melt. And then it will be ready for supper. All right. I'm Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
And we're Two Sisters Southern Cooking.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.